Coffee Time Talks with Rut.
Hi there, the coffee is ready. Welcome to this first Coffee Time Talks with Rut, with me. Let me introduce to you to Tommy Gielingh. This is gonna be the first interview of many to come, so that you get to know who are the people that are making it in this affiliate marketing world. Why did they make the choice to get into this type of work? What are the results they are achieving, and what are they planning to do with these results? So that you see that we are basically regular people, that we come from regular backgrounds, regular jobs, that we decided to change our lives to the better, for the better. I hope you enjoy this interview. It's quite special, and I'll be seeing you at the very end of it. Enjoy it, enjoy your drink, and see you in a bit.
Are you ready?
Hi, Tommy.
What's going on, everybody? Rut, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm completely, my mind is not here. I just had a really intense massage.
Oh.
And then I was like walking out of the shop like, okay. And then I went outside and there's like this much snow. And I had to like, everyone's like just like pushing themselves. So there's like a good like 25 minutes workout to get to my house. And I was like, I don't know what. So I just got home and I just put some other clothes on because everything was like, filled with snow and whatever. So I'm just like coffee, lots of water, some of these coffee sweets, things, a bit of sugar, and more water. And this.
Okay. Well,
and how's your morning? How are you?
I'm good. I had my workout in the morning. I went out for a run, and it was a bit cold, but it was fine. And I did my my exercises, and I'm good. Good. I'm very happy you're here. And so,
nice.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Where are you? So you told us there's a lot of snow. Where are you placed?
Right now we're stationed. We are in Finland the last few years, 2.5 years. And yeah, so Finland is southern Finland, where it's not normally snowing so much. But now it's snowing that much.
All the snow so you have before at once.
Yes. Yeah. But I've been a musician my entire life, full-time musician for the last 15 years. And when I say full-time, I mean like earning, right? Because I've always been a full-time musician, even if I was working in restaurants, wherever, or in bars, or doing whatever other jobs that I had when I was a kid, or in my teens, which was full-time, during my travels. It was always about music. It was always like beats, always about melodies. You're always whistling, you're always singing, coming up with ideas, and like, just always being creative. And so no matter what job or whatever work I will ever do, the DNA of my blood, of my existence, will always have the musician in me, regardless to if I'm an entrepreneur doing businesses wherever in the world. I will always show up singing, or like there's just no way around it.
Yeah, I can relate. Yeah.
Same with you. Like, you're on all these different paths in your life, but the core inside of you is is still the musician.
You can
And
take the musician out of yourself. It's impossible.
no, and you know, don't try either. Don't, you know, people are always so like no, I will, you know, and by changing profession, I will lose my identity as a musician.
Mm-hmm.
Like, first of all, what is the identity?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is the identity as something that you really feel related to? That's something that's internal, you know? So for me, I am that. That's not something that somebody else has to see.
Mm-hmm.
That's already something that you are,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So regardless to if John or Maria or whoever like this about you, it's like, man, I'm just that happy guy, you know, because I've always got, you know, music in my mind. So, and then, you know, when you show up in a different field, you know, you show up also as an artist a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now in this like new entrepreneur, and as entrepreneur, it's kind of overused, I think, the word entrepreneur, because, you know, you're self-employed or you've got your own business, right?
Yeah.
But behind the entrepreneur's mind, or behind being self-employed, or being like the sense of being a server of the industry, of the people, to the people that you're selling or that you're just speaking to, being that server to your industry or whatever you're doing, that's the humanity behind your product, whatever it is that you're doing, even in music too. Like, if you're going to be a dick, you know, to people, or if you're going to be, you know, if you're going to be nasty to people or whatever, you're not going to get anywhere. You know, if the foundation in your business is not being a true server to your, like, you know, to your end consumer, then what the hell are you doing? Right? So being able to care, being able to love, being able to share, and not, you know, look only out for the money, and definitely not be pointing at other people. Definitely not be, you know, blaming other people. Everything is pointed at you.
Yes.
You know, so whatever you do on that road, judge not. Like, don't even go there, because, you know, you're only judging yourself at the end of the day.
Hey, Anna, can you tell me a bit what was the downside of being a full-time musician, and what was that triggered you to get into a different path and actually a completely different world of what you were doing?
So there is no downside on being a musician, unless you want to bury yourself in negativity and self-doubt and everything that the art world is known for, that you should be, like, be the poor artist that lives in Paris, the struggling musician, you know, surrounded by art, and like, you know, that like self-suffocating mentality is taught to us, right? Yeah. You're constantly, but that's also where a lot of the art comes from. That's where a lot of the art actually comes out of, you know, political systems that are suffocating people, you know, riots, you know, equal rights, you know, the blues, you know, all those things. They really do come from those dark sides of society. But I think we can, especially in our world now, in 2021, when, you know, this is recorded, it's now January 20th, 2021, for anyone that's watching this later. We're in an age now where we've got it really good, right? So then it's like, well, where do you find your inspiration, Tommy? Okay. Well, right. So for me, humanity is like up front with all of the things that I stand for. So if you're asking me for my whys or for my purpose, why am I alive? One of the three purposes in my life is to be able to support and be there for poor people on a humanity level, right? So for me, there are a lot of pain points there still, right? Because there's many people dying for absolutely bullshit reasons, right? Yemen, Africa, even here in Finland, like, now with the COVID and all of this stuff, injustices and all these things that are still happening. So it's not like I need to be, in a messed up relationship to write blues music, or I need to be a suffocating artist that doesn't have food. It's not like that now. Now it's a choice to be that suffocating musician mentality. All I need to do is turn on the news and I've got inspiration.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. I mean,
right?
If it's negativity, you can just go and grab it whatever you want. It's up to yourself. It's up to yourself. What do you choose?
Yeah, absolutely. So the downside of the musicianship is the mindset of the mentality today. And that doesn't only, go for the artist, but also for everybody else that's been, somewhat brainwashed throughout their entire lives. Like for me, like the first 40 years has been, okay, like I come from a very loving family and very motivating family, a very driven family. And they always, the more you dream and the more you build your own world and the more you undertake your own decisions in life, the better, like be that artist, be like, follow your happiness. Don't be tied down to a job that you hate. Always be nice to people and, always look up, whenever downtime, happens, put your chin up and, look up, in a prosperous way. So for me, my upbringing was not like that. My studies also, like I didn't go to school as much as I should have because I was too busy, socializing. I was too busy getting into pool competitions when I was a teenager. I was working already full time. I was in a band full time. I was traveling. I didn't, school was like, what the hell am I doing here? Like it didn't align with me at all. It didn't align with me.
In those years, where were you? Where did you do your school?
My first 10 years of my life, I was in Holland. Mm-hmm. Then about a year on the road with my parents in a caravan. So my brother and I, we were home taught. And then we eventually stranded because my parents sold their restaurant and their house and their cars and then went on the road, with their two kids. I was 9, 10 years old and my brother was 10, 11 years old. And then the money ran out in the south of Europe, in Spain. Perfection. It was perfection. It was perfection. And so we stranded there. They opened up a restaurant there. And it was like, they're such amazing masters of that industry of hospitality and restaurants and bars, bistros, all of that stuff. No matter where, like they were in the worst back streets where you should not have a business. And they're like, it just like blooms like a seed that's, placed in the worst dirt, and they will just soil themselves. They will give themselves the good soil to grow. And then they just succeed wherever they are. And so I was born into that industry too. And they're also musicians in the 70s, very, very successful, especially my mother, being a pop artist in the Netherlands back in the day. So I was like born into those two worlds and like always being a server to the old lady, the poor man, the beggar, the musicians that come in, the drug dealers that come in, all equal. Everyone was equal, even the people that were our competition. It was always, same playing field. There was no discrimination in any way. So I was already in that world back at, in my teens. I was already working full time at the age of 11, 12 years old. I was already full time. And then the Spanish school, basically happened. And I was like, whoa, I just came from on the road, and now we're like hardcore rock and roll life. And now I got to go and be a good boy and sit there with a pen and writing some information down. And I was like, I got things to do. That's exactly how it was. And I was also a little bit scared because of school, because I was stuttering then. I used to have a stutter.
Oh.
And whenever I was doing lenguaje, like Spanish language, we would have to read out loud. And it was like one, and then Juan, and then Pepe, and then Maria, and then it was my turn. But I knew that I couldn't read because I couldn't speak fluently what I was reading. So my heartbeat was always going like this. So I made any excuse not to read. And what better excuse than not showing up?
Oh, yeah.
So that happened too. Thankfully, I lost. I did some training in my stutter, which really was down to excitement of life. I was just so excited always that I forgot to breathe. And then when I forgot to breathe, I was like,
Input error.
Input error. Yeah. Restart the computer. Yeah. So, and then with the music and like full time, the band, at the age of 13, and then full time nightlife, social street life. That was it. So I didn't finish my school. And then later on, I realized what I really wanted to do. And then I started studying, music and, in London. And, I started, moving away from Spain because I was fed up with the crazy life, the nightlife. And I was outgrowing the town where I was living. And I just needed, I'm a traveler by blood. So I just needed to go, or I would have, drugged myself up to death at that point. Like it was or that or the other. So, there was no option but to leave, really, like my brother did too. After my brother left, I was like, if he can do it, I can do it. And he's always been an inspiration to me. And I just took it by the horns and started traveling the world after that. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. And I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop either.
I don't think you can stop when you've been...
I can't stop now. What are you going to do? Stop?
I remember one of your posts, I think, right before Christmas, when your high ticket was starting to run, and that you were mentioning that your high ticket
the high ticket
investment was starting to run, and that you mentioned that it would be the last Christmas that you would be broke.
Yeah.
I so can relate to that feeling of not knowing when you are going to recover from being broke, and then you stay stable, and then you go down again. And
right.
And I just feel a link on also what you said about showing up. A lot of what we are doing right now is about showing up and being persistent and communicating to the audience in a way it's not so far away from performing, because it's constantly communicating to digital audience, but nevertheless it is still an audience. So
great point.
Yeah, I don't know how you see it.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, well, that's to answer your first one. The last Christmas that I was broke, that's we don't know what the future is going to hold, but the mindset behind that is that basta ya in Spanish, like enough is enough. Someone everyone in my family is passionate about their things that they do, but sometimes in families someone has to break that the chain. Yeah, just like, and it doesn't take away from anything that anyone is doing, but if you feel the need internally to say, okay, I'm done with this struggle, and you're really, you're really driven to that point where you're like, this is, because I saw it coming, right? Like I was like, okay, I'm starting this brand new journey, even though I've always been in business. So, business is not a new thing for me, but to really overcome being broke, that's a whole different other thing. Like if I do something, like it's the same with when you fight, right? Physically, there's okay. So when you learn to fight, one of the first things that you learn is that you do not aim for the surface of your target, but the back end of your target, right? Okay. Okay. So when you lean in, you're aiming for the back of your target. Also the face. If you're going to go for a face, you're going to aim for the back of the face so that your punch follows through. In business, it's the same thing, right? So if you're just going in for the money, you're just going to, scratch the surface, and you're probably just going to, fall, and you're going to leave it. But if you have a purpose behind the reason why you want to do it, right? Otherwise it's just empty. Money is just energy, but what are you going to do with this energy? What are you going to do with this? That's where the excitement lays, So for me, it's about being free from the cost of being a musician, being free from being free from the restriction of wanting to help poor people, in bad situations and the underprivileged, being free from not being able to help my parents or my family out, and really start living life the way that you think you should be living life. Why are we torturing ourselves? So that post about being the last Christmas that I'm broke, it was like, it's like the only way that this is going to happen is by aiming for behind the target. And not just like, Christmas I've got, 10K or like 20K, coming in. No, screw that. It's about what are we going to achieve, in the long run? Who are we going to help? What life do you want to live?
I think you have a pretty good idea of who do you want to help, because you've been busy with your charities for a very long time. Can you tell us a little bit about the specific projects that you want to give a kick-off to a different level once this is running stably?
Yeah. So if you look around my studio, there's a bunch of great memories from my travels that also include the organizations that I've been working with, right? That's such an exciting topic, because that's where my heart lays, I love following my heart for those reasons, because you can really it's easy to connect, then it's easy to business, it's easy to do, to make relationships then, when you follow your heart. So that's a great topic. My main focus on organizations, one is, he is not an organization. My friend Victor, who I met through an organization in Liberia. We were setting up a music festival, the first music festival in Liberia, in 2016. And that's a long story, the way that I got there. But we went there. They've got a SaveMoreKids.org is an organization. They have an orphanage. The family have adopted 44 children into their family. So those are not orphans anymore. They're all now part of the family, right? So they have this big house with a big yard and a well and a big kitchen outside, and the dark orange dirt in the field, in the yard, as they call it, the yard, the yard. And they've got they've got a little church with the classroom and the music, and and like the communal area and so on. So Save More Kids organization, they're based in the US, but the house is in Liberia, where the children were orphans during the Civil War, where these children were tortured very badly. They were basically victims of war, and that's one of the worst civil wars in history, right? The Liberian War, the last civil war that was happening there. So these children were educated. They were brought in, and even though they were very traumatized, right? I mean, I can't even imagine what kind of torture was happening. I know of some stories, which are those are the children that I still remember so deeply, so well. And they're they're friends now. They're more than friends. They're like family now. And yeah, man, I drift off so easily when I talk about them. But so we went there to do field recordings for a song that I was recording in the US.
Okay.
We were also setting up a music festival called Save More Kids Music Festival, and we did that. But then there was a situation where we couldn't continue for a minute because there was no sound guy, right? There was no sound technician, and this guy walks in with his little voice recording. He's like, "Hey guys, do you guys need any help?" And I was like, "Who the hell are you?" And he's like, I was like, "Well, we're stuck with the sound right now. We can't continue the festival because we don't have a sound guy," because I was about to go on stage. And he's like, "Well, I know how to do it." I was like, "You know how to operate this thing?" And he's like, "Yep." And it's like all the knobs and the sliders and, the speakers. I mean, it's a big, it's a venue, outside venue. And I was like, "Bye." I was like, I didn't even think about it afterwards. So the night went flawless. Not one time did we have feedback.
Wow.
There was no from
Yes, the guy just took over. You went to play, and that was
completely hands off. So I took a picture with him later on after the show. I think it was after the show, because I can't remember otherwise. Where else would we have taken that picture? So after the show, everyone's so high on the energy. It was an amazing show, like completely hard. I even cried during the beginning of one of the songs that I was doing. That was also about Civil War. It was just such an emotional roller coaster. So after the show, we went, and it was so busy. Everyone's all over the place, and I forgot about him. Like there was no reminder of how bad it went. Yeah. It was just it was just smooth. It was just smooth. So I lost touch with him, and he just disappeared. And then I was like, "Where did Victor go? That guy that saved the night?" And I was already back in the US then. And I was like, suddenly I was like, "Where did Victor go?" So it was a friend of his that introduced Victor to us that night. That said, "Come over, let's have some fun." I think it was a friend of photographer of the night that we had. Teddy, what's going on, man? Yes, Teddy, that's right. It was Teddy's friend. And so Teddy was like, yeah, man, I know this guy. So I got on the phone with him. I was like, "Victor, you're a lifesaver, man. What can I do for you? Because, I owe you big time right now." And he was like, "Oh man, I don't need any praise. I don't need anything, man. I'm fine." I was like, "Dude, I know where you live. I know what kind of situation you're in. What do you need? Just because I live, I've got food, I've got, some money coming in. I've got friends who can maybe help out. Let's do something, So he was like, "Okay, I was in university for 2 years, but I need to finish no, he was in university for 1 year, and then he dropped out due to funds, because it's like third world."
Yeah.
Like, stuff that unless you see it firsthand, you don't understand. You know, it's like, fuck, it's heavy shit. So I was like, okay, cool. So he wants to get back into university. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So I started fundraising for him while still orchestrating galas and concerts for Save More Kids as well. Yeah. On the side, I was also fundraising for Victor. That very quickly became my friend on Facebook Messenger. And we were talking every day, and like, how is he doing? Has he got food? Has he got water? What do you need, bro? Like, you know, the guy needed a phone. He needs, top up of internet. He needs food, like everything, right? Shoes, shirt, whatever. So yeah, I just went nuts for, until I got the money together for the first year of the university. So 3 years later, he graduated, fundraiser after fundraiser after fundraiser. And he graduated highest in his class, best numbers, best all this stuff. And like, he sailed right through that thing. And he's humble, he's intelligent, he's smart, he's really polite, he's a gentleman, and he's a scholar. He's a gentleman and a scholar, as the saying goes. So now he just graduated, and we're trying to get him into Finland or somewhere in the northern European countries where he can continue his education, and ideally Finland, because then I can be with him and then we can be together, and then give him a platform where he can live a better life, so that he can build a better life here, so that he can give back to his family and to his friends over there, right? So. Yeah. And we want to build a bamboo field, because with several organizations, we have a lot of land in Liberia that we want to grow bamboo with and build buildings with, and create hubs where children can hang out, where there's free Wi-Fi, where there's free education, where there's healthcare, where there's food served, lunch, all that stuff, and educate people. That's the goal. That's my goal. So because I'm in love with bamboo, and I know how powerful it is and how underrated it is in building, especially in the West, because those guys are still building with like mud and cement, a little bit of cement, and like boom, boom, which is fine. But bamboo is much stronger during storms and all of these things. So we're now speaking to several organizations that are also stepping into this project. I can't say those organizations yet because nothing is firm yet. But yeah, so that's the goal. Save More Kids is my family, and Victor is my brother. And yeah, the future is looking really exciting right now.
I guess
very excited about the next chapters.
The motor that makes you running while you doing this online journey, and you have a very specific goal where you are going to, and I'm sure that you are going to get there. I mean, you're halfway there anyway, so this can only exponentially grow as you wish it to be. And
the one thing that is at the moment, the level where I'm at now, which I think is really important for everyone to think about if you become self-employed or if you become an entrepreneur with several businesses, is that you start thinking about and stay focused on your why, like why you're doing it. Because when you interact with a lot of people during your sale process or whatever, it's very easy to lose focus on your purpose and think about the sale and think about the money and think about the finance behind it. So if there's one thing that I would suggest is to even just have like that's the reason why I've got a sign over there that says why.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's huge. It's there all the time. It's not about the money. It's about what you truly want to do during the journey, right? And where you want to get to, and what's your next thing, and like why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? You know,
I totally love
the
it.
finances. Yeah, you know, the finance is not. That's not the end goal. If finance is the end goal, okay, so be that then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're probably going to be very disliked all over the place.
Yeah.
But that's your choice. So, so good luck with that.
Can you mention a little bit about your social handle?
It should be Tommyboii, but it is Tommyboi's brother right now. Yeah, so Instagram, Tommyboi's brother. TikTok, Tommyboi's brother. Facebook, Tommyboi's brother. TommyGielingh.com and createyourown-future.com.
No, very good. Is
Yep.
anything else that you want to say to us, or that you want to share to us, or what do you think? I was curious, how do you think it will influence your little one, what you're doing, like in the future, in terms of, it's a bit out of ordinary. Your full life has been out of the ordinary, and you are craving for out of the ordinary. And is it something that you are gonna pass through, or
yeah?
I don't know.
So I think out of the ordinary is where I feel most comfortable, because I've only been living out of the ordinary my entire life. Nothing has been ordinary. If there is something that is ordinary in my life at the moment, it's the structure of my child. That's ordinary to me, but it's essential right now to keep the entire family sane. So, right? I mean, like there's got to be some structure going on, which a child just needs, you know, to be more, to have just a little bit of a foundation. But I don't want to keep that foundation too secure, because I know what it's done for me. I look at people that have lived in one place their entire lives, and then I see myself, and I'm saying like the same house, like or the same town even. I'm not saying that that's wrong at all. I think it's a beautiful thing, and I sometimes miss that because my uncle lives in Holland, or my one part lives there. Then I'm all over the place. My family lives in Spain. And then you see the close bonds that these people have. They do stay in one place. And I'm not, sometimes I think about that, and I kind of wish I had that village around me, supporting each other and saying hi and like having coffee in each other's kitchen, something like that, like a little bit closer. Like, why you got to make it so complicated, Tommy? Yeah, always. Let's make it more complicated. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. So the future for my child, I mean, that is unspoken for still, but I want her to know that she has a home wherever she goes in the world. She's born in Finland. She's half Finnish, half Dutch. But the world is her oyster. Like, I want her to know that her home does not lay where her parents are, although that is what she will feel. But ultimately, her deepest home, her real home, is inside of herself, no matter where she is, right? And as long as I can, if there is one thing that I will teach her, is to find the love, to love herself and know that about herself. Because I might not live, past her 10th birthday or whatever. But if she can watch this, if I do die or something, then I wanted to know that, that her heart, and ultimately the most important part is to love yourself so that you can do whatever the hell you want. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So the future for her, I have no idea what's going to happen, and whatever she wants to do, I fully support her in her journey. I mean, she's 2 now, but she's already a rock star, man. Like, she doesn't have a chance to be normal already. Like, it's already fucked up. So yeah,
this is the richest, if we are talking in terms of richness for yourself and your family and your child, this is the biggest gift that we as a parent can do for our children.
Yeah.
And all the rest vanishes. It's not important. It's not relevant.
Yeah.
The most
absolutely.
The most amazing part for me of now having the way of providing for this to happen for them. And yeah.
I believe that's where rock and roll lays. Like, back to music for a sec. And I know that you've got that in you too. I know that you've got that care in you too. All of the stuff that I was just talking about, for your daughter. It's cool that we both have daughters the same age. Yeah. I think that's such a nice thing for them to,
I mean,
but especially for us.
They are 15 days apart, dude.
Yeah. And they're both half Dutch.
That's true as well, yeah. Anyway, you're almost more Spanish than you are Dutch, so...
I've definitely gained a lot of Spanishness in my ways. That's another beautiful thing about your travels, is that wherever you go, don't just go there on holiday. Like, sell all your shit, live there for a while, and then really learn the aromas of the lifestyle of those places. Because otherwise you really haven't been there.
And so you're passing by.
Yeah, you're just passing by.
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna pass by your life, or are you gonna just go and grab it by the balls? I mean,
grab it by the balls. Yeah, that's exciting. But that's where you learn cultures. That's where you learn languages. That's where you learn different sense of humors. That's where you learn music styles. That's where you learn manners and learn to respect people. That's where you become you educate yourself as a global mindset, global attitude. You learn to not judge so much, because I've emigrated 9 times in my life, from country to 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 country, right? Right. So it's constantly starting from zero, right? With no context, maybe one person that you know in that place or something, and you got to start again, all the way from scratch. Like, if you just got to start from scratch over and over again, right? If you do it the way that I did it, if you really want to make it hard for yourself, do that.
And now you got the hang of it. I mean,
yeah. I mean, now it's like, let's just do it. Like, but that's why, I don't know how many houses I've lived in, like, and all kinds of ways of sleeping in different places, if it's boats or caravans or small houses, the smallest rooms and the biggest mansions, and then here and then there, and the farms, and like, even a castle. I was born in a castle pretty much, in Holland aan de Vecht, in Utrecht, and but like, all these different places, and you're like, just do it, just sell all your shit, keep your passport, keep your guitar, keep a microphone in your back pocket, a little bit of cash, and yourself. You are your strongest tool. Your mind is your strongest tool. Yeah, that's exciting. I can't wait now to sell this place and go to the next place. Yeah, but that's exciting. And then you've got like that, like, okay, yeah, I wish I did have a little bit of that village, in me. But then I'm like, nah, very quickly, let's go.
Next.
Yeah, next. Yeah. So yeah, the only thing that I would say besides like the business side of things or the life thing is that whatever you do, remind yourself every day, even if you want to do this as an affirmation every day, relate every day with your heart. Like, where is your care? Like, use your care and try not to burn out on that at the same time. Give yourself a break from that too, because everything that is too much is, too much, and you're going to burn. So be careful with that also. But whenever you start a conversation, or you're starting a new business, or you do anything, every day, work with the heart. Lock in with the server inside of you, right? So that you're really caring about people, truly, because otherwise it's a very lonely road. Not only for other people, that you are not in touch with other people anymore then, but also for yourself. You're really isolating yourself. So really learn your whys, learn what you want to do. If you don't know that yet, dig deep and ask yourself over and over again, what is it that I truly want to do? For what reason do I want to do it? With who do I want to do it? When do I want to do it? And write it down and put it on your wall, wherever you sit the most. So the bathroom, maybe, right in front of you when you're having and just constantly go over that, and stay in tune with your heart, because that's your biggest resource. That's your biggest energy source. That's we are all energy. We are all, the universe, and our heart is the main physical source that's going to keep us alive. So if we can lock in with the main source that is keeping us alive, and really stay true to your heart, then you don't have to blame anybody else for anything. Just take on the blame yourself. It's my fault. I failed 15 times, which is great, because I am standing up and I'm going again.
Yes.
That's because of me. That's because of you. You are using your heart. You are using your motivation. You are the reason why you're pushing forward. You are the reason why you got up. And yeah, really truly find the server in you, the people that, and you are the reputation of your industry. Yeah. So work with the heart. Don't work with the pocket. Work with the heart. Don't even work with the mind so much. Yes, educate yourself, but if you don't work with the heart, the mind is no good.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
How I thought I had an idea of how it would go, and then it goes completely the other way around. And it's totally fine. It was exactly what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tommy.
Thank you so much, Ruth, and thanks for everybody for listening to me for the last while.
Yes. Hey, greetings there. Enjoy the snow.
I will do. Thank you so much.
And we'll see each other later.
Yes, you guys too in Holland. All the best, and everyone around the world.
Yeah.
Be happy. Be happy.
Take care. Bye. Yes, we got to the end of it. Thank you very much for watching it. It was quite something. Please do leave a comment here under the video of what did you think of it. And if there is any information that you would like to require, just send me a message and I'll make sure that we get in touch. Thank you very much for watching. Hit the subscribe button to make sure that you will be getting the notification for my coming interviews. I can assure you that very interesting people will be having a talk with me. Have an amazing day. I wish you all the best and see you soon.
Coffee Time Talks with Rut.